How would Joe Joyce do against these 5 heavyweights? Wilder, Joshua, Ruiz, Usyk, and Tyson Fury. Before we get into that, sorry I didn't make a video on the prediction of Joyce Parker. My dog was deathly sick all week. Finally figured out Addison's disease. Yeah, I never heard of it. So it's a hormone thing. She's on steroids. Doing fine since Friday. So anyway, I had picked Joe Joyce over Parker. And Ed on here will verify that. I won another gourmet hamburger bet, as I've won about 6 of them. He's won none from me. 3 of the gourmet hamburgers were from Ortiz. I had picked Wilder over Ortiz and then Ruiz over Ortiz. So those were 3. I forgot the rest of them, but he still owes me for Ruiz Ortiz, the gourmet hamburger. And these are at the finest steakhouses in town, so. All right, Joe Joyce. When I first saw him in a fight, I think 2 or 3 years ago, I think he stopped the guy in the 3rd round. I didn't think much of him. The only fight really I've seen was his last fight before Parker, when he was catching those right hands. So when I heard this fight was announced, with Parker, I said, oh man, Parker should outbox him, win a 12-round decision. And then I had to look into it more. I slapped myself and said, stop being a casual, Reed. So I had to look into it a little more. So I never saw the Dubois fight. It was on another streaming service. So I Googled that, watched the whole thing, and I said, okay. So in the first round with Dubois, when he comes out with that jab hand, all you see is the jab hand. He's a little sideways. Jab hand is about a foot further maybe than the right hand, like I wanted Joshua to do, but he didn't see my video. So anyway, when I saw that, that impressed me. The cardio impressed me. The chin impressed me. And that jab, even though it's not a great jab, it's not a Buster Douglas jab, it's not a Larry Holmes jab. It's just basic stuff, and basic stuff works in boxing. Correct technique. So seeing that, and then what really turned my decision for Joyce against Parker, I go, you know, this guy's like George Foreman a little bit. See, I don't know if you guys go back this far, but in 1970, I saw George Foreman fight at the Oakland Coliseum before he was champion. And George had fought this Peralta, I guess the year before in Madison Square Garden. It went a 10-round decision. George won, of course. But you know, George Gasson, he looked sloppy. So when he's fighting, when I'm at the Coliseum, I think I was 17 years old, 18. George, people were booing him because Peralta, he probably weighed a 198 and George was about, at that time, a still growing boy, 216. And it was a 15-round championship for some kind of belt. And George finally stopped him in the 10th round. But the crowd was booing him, you know, because when you got a big guy like that against Peralta. Now, Peralta, these guys could fight back in the day. What did he have, 100 pro fights? These guys knew what they were doing back then. But anyway, George never looked good. People made fun of him. You know, Ali said he looks like an amateur and he'll beat him. But George kept winning and winning. And so it just dawned on me, this Joyce guy reminds me of a Foreman coming up. And I go, Reed, he's going to keep winning. He's going to beat Parker. Parker's not going to be able to hang in there like that for 12 rounds. And man, after the 2nd round, I gave Parker the 1st, 2nd, and 4th round in that fight. But you talk about a guy winning some rounds, but look like he's going to lose. And even in the second round, the look on Parker's face, I mean, wow, that was interesting. But you got to give it to Parker. I never thought after the second round, I go, this doesn't go past 8. And Parker lasted till 11th round. You got to give it to him. Let's get into it. Joyce against Ruiz. Ruiz has pretty good cardio for being a big guy like he is. Great hand speed. I think we saw Joyce take right hands, and he doesn't even blink. But Ruiz has an excellent left hook. I mean, that thing is badass. So I think that would be the punch to hurt Joyce, is a left hook. Now, Ruiz's work rate is not the best. Joyce's work rate's unreal. With his chin, of course Ruiz has a chin too, I'm going to have to go with the work rate of Joyce over Ruiz if they ever fought in a 12-round decision. All right, let's get to Wilder. Joyce has been hit with that right hand, as we saw the fight before last. But when you're going against Wilder, they're going to have that figured out. Joyce is going to have that figured out. I mean, when you're fighting somebody and you only focus on that right hand, it's pretty easy to see it coming and doing something. You don't have to worry about Wilder doesn't have a jab. Wilder doesn't have a left hook, although they're working on the left hook. So, we know Wilder, you back him up. What's with Wilder's cardio lately? You know Joyce is going to back him up. I got Joyce in a late round stoppage against Wilder. All right, let's go with, we did Ruiz, Wilder, Joshua. Now, Joshua is interesting. He could actually upset Joyce. It reminds me of the Foreman Ron Lyle smash heavyweight fight. So Joshua does have the power to hurt Joyce, but I don't think he's going to do it. He gasses out later. I see Joyce stopping Joshua in late rounds. Okay, now we come to Usyk. Slick boxer, footwork. Joseph Park, like I said, I gave him 1, 2, and 4 rounds. If that was Usyk, it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, who knows how many rounds. Usyk has stamina. Usyk has heart. Footwork. I see. And if Usyk thinks it's a hard go against Joshua with Joyce's stamina, it's going to be really tough for him. I feel sorry for Usyk, a small heavyweight, fighting these guys. I have Usyk winning a 12-round unanimous decision against Joyce. Tyson Fury, if you remember, the first guy to beat Foreman was Ali. Tyson Fury can box. He's got footwork, head movement, he's got a jab, he's got it all. So, Tyson Fury in a 12-round unanimous decision, if Tyson Fury comes in under 264, 260 pounds. You never know with him. This 276 against the last Wilder, or whatever he was, if that's what it was, that's not going to get it with Joyce. So if Tyson Fury can come in great condition, 12-round unanimous decision over Joyce. All right, I think I got all 5. So there you go. This may change as if these fights materialize with me, but this is what I'm thinking right now. All right, thanks for watching, guys.